will be recorded. So if you do not want your name to be splashed all over the internet, then I suggest you either refrain from making comments or sit very quietly. Alternatively, you are more than welcome to log off the room. There are some webinars that I am posting on my YouTube channel, so everyone can slow me down and make some pauses and go and experiment with stuff and then carry on um, at their own will and time. And I found that it's a little bit easier instead of repeating ourselves all over again and people being very unclear of what to do next. Hopefully, that is an option of doing a practical training with everyone. So today it is the 18th of March 2021, and I promised to do a little bit of a business UBIZ catch up. But before I'm going to go any further, I'm going to be addressing 2 points that came from the city directors, and it's being asked so many times. So I will be showing you the practical examples, which means that I will be sharing my screen, which means if you guys will have a questions, please switch on your mics and talk to me. Alternatively, please will you type on the chat box. I'm just trying to get myself all sorted out and set up here, so I'm going to know what's happening. Okay, there we go. Chats, okay, we're good. And that way you're gonna see exactly what I mean. So I'm gonna be sharing my screen because I believe you need to see the typical example and the practical examples. So the question that came over and over again in my life over the last couple of months is when a city directors will ask me, I publish the advert and I do not see it in my office. Okay, so I'm going to start off from the beginning. When you are building an advert and you're going to be entering the code right here, you're going to click that you're not a robot and you will be creating an advert. What's going to happen is that the actual advert will open up. It's going to be totally empty, but you will have owner's information, okay? Which is usually the name of the person. Please keep it quite personal. And you're going to be putting in the email addresses, okay, of the actual owner of this advert. And now I'm going to take it to the next level. Okay, let me just move myself off the screen. I'm going to log out here. And yes, I'm logging into a GDC office. I'm going to be moving myself up quite often today. So as you've seen, the previous advert was trifecta trading advert. Okay, so if you're going to be logging in with the same email address and with the same password that you used on the advert, you will see that right here, you're going to see my advert. Okay. And there is the selection of adverts that are being published with the ownership of this particular email address. So if that makes sense to you, just press 1 for me, okay? And now I'm going to log off from here because I want to show you what an GDC business account looks like. There are differences between one and the other. So with the permission of this particular client, this is a client that published, bought an advert from me, all right? But it's not a member. What I mean by this, that this company bought the advert from me first, and then they use different email addresses to register as the personal GDC members for free. Okay, if that makes sense so far, are you guys with me so far? If it makes sense, just 1 on the chat box, because I think it's very important. We need to see the differences. And if you will click, so this is a business account of a company that bought an advert from me, okay, and they were not a member of Global Digital beforehand, but they registered as a member in their personal capacity afterwards with a different email address. So in this particular business, you can see business membership right here, it's totally different. If you're going to look at the adverts, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 adverts with me. Okay. To access those adverts through this office is pretty easy. You just need to, if you're going to click on the company, it's going to take you to the actual advert. So I'm just showing you the examples of what to expect when you click on the buttons. When you're going to click onto the office, and I'm just going to shut stuff, it's going to take the client directly through to the back office of this advert. And I found that currently, to me, is really the easiest way for people who's got advertising with us to enter and make changes, to add pictures. To me, it's really the easiest way. So today I promise I'm going to be doing UBIZ training. So in the back office of the advertiser, you've got this little menu called UBIZ. So through the back office of the advertisement, people will enter the UBIZ, AmaWebs, replication sites, all of those extra bits. The clients can enter very easily through the actual back office of the advert. Okay, does that make sense to you? Yes, 1, 0, talk to Beata. Okay, so we're all clear. Now, to me, this is one of those screens that really we should memorize, because quite often people will say, I sold a UBIZ app and now taken up to do notifications. So this is almost the features of the UBIZ ad. If you sold a super yellow advert to a client, they can do only one notification every 30 days. And this notification will appear to maximum of 50 people. Ultra ad pack, if you sold it to a client, Ultra UBIZ would have one notification every 7 days with maximum visibility to 100 people. And the Pro UBIZ, if you would sell to a client, okay, the client can do one notification every day, and whoever's got UBIZ downloaded will actually see the notification. So I want you to be aware of different features of different adverts. If you're going to be selling UBIZ app on its own to a client, yes, you're going to have to build the advert, and only then, and you will publish UBIZ at the same time. So I'm going to just enter the UBIZ back office, and I want you to be aware of certain things as well. Okay, this UBIZ app is already published. If you click on a company, excuse me, this is nothing else but really the details that are being copied from the actual advertisement, except the category spots. So here you can choose 2 category spots, and that's pretty easy. The biggest issue that is always coming up is about the pictures, okay? And I always tend to say, read the screen. excuse me, getting a little bit too excited here. Because pictures are not coming right, and people's got issues with resizing, all of this weird and wonderful stuff. I'm just going to make the screen a little bit smaller, because if you're going to open the UBIZ and you're going to be looking at the pictures, how to download the pictures, it actually states pretty clearly that the pictures should not be bigger than 3 megabytes, And the ideal size is 500 wide by 250 high pixels, okay? Preferably in GIF, TIFF, or JP format. So everything is almost laid out for you of how to do this. To add a picture is nothing simpler. Now I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger. So you're going to see this. Apparently, multitasking is not the thing for me. And I'm just going to pick any pictures that we possibly can. Let us just see. Just bear with me here. Okay. Amazing. Come. Okay. Focus. I'm just going to search here. What I tend to do, I tend to store the pictures of our clients with the name of the company, alternatively with the key phrases. Okay. And I'm just going to upload this picture. I'm going to open it up. So what you're going to be seeing here is that the picture is actually uploaded here, start and upload. And this is where the fun starts. Okay. We're just going to be moving Beata a little bit. As you can see, the picture does not feature on right here, which means there's a bit of a problem with it. So how do we fix the problem? I'm going to take the same picture. Okay, let me just find this. Just search for it. So just pardon the silence. That's nothing what I can do to speed this process up. Okay, if I want to show you how to avoid this particular problem. That was the picture that we had. So what I'm going to do, and this is what I do on your computer, you might have different tools to resize and save the pictures in a different way. To me, I like using the Paint. I just found it so much easier. Okay, so what I would do, I'll just open it up. And as usual, because I've got so much opened on my computer, you're going to have to wait a little bit. To me, Paint is easy to resize because right now I can click onto pixels and it actually tells me it's 600 by 383, which is more or less in there, and it gives me enough play, okay, to choose to position everything on the picture. It just making the pictures a little bit bigger. It gives me a little bit of a play. I like doing this. So usually what I would do, I would save extra 10% on the width and on the height and save it by this. So it is in the size, but what I will do right now, I will save it, okay, as a PNG picture. So again, through the Paint, to me is very easy. I will just PNG, so I know what I'm talking about too. As you can see, I've done that before. Tells me the transparency will be lost. I'm happy with this because again, I'm not a graphic designer. But now that I resize the picture, I'm just going to take this away. Okay. Now that I resized it, and I'm going to upload it in a PNG specifications, or rather size, and it's still not coming through. So let us just have a look. If I'm going to just crop it, okay, still not showing, so I'm going to go back. Okay. So the PNG in this particular case, for whatever reason, doesn't want to work too well. I'm going to scrap it and put it back into trash. And right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add file again. We're going to go to our Proficos banner again. So as you can see, I don't always get it right on the first shot as well. In my case, or in your case, you might want to do some notes to make it easier for yourself further down the line. Oops, hold on, cancel. That's not what we wanted. And so we know that the PNG didn't work too well on UBIZ. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the same procedure, but I'm going to store it in a different format. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. I'm having a blunt moment today, so just bear with me, sorry. But I think if you're going to see how it works in practice, it will be so much easier for you to do it by yourself later on when you actually are building it. So again, I'm going to open the picture in a paint. Okay, come on, open with a paint. We noted the size is right in pixels. You see this? So now all what I'm going to do, I'm just going to resize it slightly. I'm going to go 550. Okay. And I'm going to go file and I'm going to save it as a JPEG picture. Hopefully JPEG will be easier because JPEG. Okay. There we go. Right, tell me. And we're going to be starting the same process all over again, which is that one, the file, start uploading the pictures. And you see right now, right here, it actually shows up the picture, which means all what I've got to do is pick up what I want to show, and the way to do it, I usually stretch the picture. I would take my little cursor, my mouse in the corner, and just stretch it out as much as I can. Move it into position that I want. It's either up, down. I like giving people this extra visibility with the contact details on it. And all what you've got to do now, because right now you resize it, you've got everything there, but you need to make it visible. Okay. So right now, if you've got UBIZ, it will be showing off. We've got additional picture. To me, success of a UBIZ is in the promotions. And promotions are not always there just to promote a new product, but promotions can be used to pass information, especially nowadays when we are living in this COVID-19 almost terrorism, I'd like to say. We try to avoid the contact and we're doing a lot of business remotely. People might actually want to go out there and really get us some information about it. Okay, so in this particular case, Easter presents. Easter presents. How is this? Okay, we're gonna save it. I'm gonna save info. And then what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be announcing. Now, because I can do it only once every 24 hours, as you can see, they haven't done it for quite some time. You've got a couple of options that you need to click on, okay? Special offer just for today, check today's specials, unbeatable discounts, visit at checkout today. You need to click on one of them, whichever one it is. There it is. You're going to have to do it. And only then you can announce it. And if someone is within the vicinity of 10 kilometers, alternatively, if they actually liked this advert on UBIZ, they will be getting notifications. So this is how to upload the pictures. I hope that it's going to make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, and now what I want to do, I'm just going to stop sharing the screen with you for a moment because I want to show you something. There we go. Okay, you see this? There is a UBIZ notification that just came through. Okay, right here. It is very uninvasive. I've got it set up for silent. So to me, it's actually the brilliant way of doing business. And to me, is a brilliant way of communicating with the clients as well. And now we're going to go back to sharing the screen. I just want to keep this. Okay, so this is how to upload the pictures on UBIZ. Now, what I'm going to go in, I'm just going to log off here. I'm going to close this particular account. Okay, so I'm going to have a little bit, as much bandwidth as I possibly can. to be quicker and hopefully better. And I want to introduce you to UBIZ Emulator. UBIZ Emulator is one of those tools when we can search for UBIZ app anywhere in the world. So if you're going to go in and for argument's sake, you are going to, let us go to Greece. Okay, there you go. We're going to go to Greece. We will go to Athens. Attica. Okay. I'm just going to locate it on the map because to me, it's so much more helpful if you've got the address. Okay. But you can actually locate it on the map and you can move it around. So from wherever this dot is, 10 kilometers from the dot, you're going to be seeing all the businesses that even though I'm sitting in Centurion, you guys are somewhere in South Africa, if you would be going somewhere, you would be seeing the adverts that are posted in Athens, in Greece. Okay, so there's quite a number of them. The guys are pretty active. This is what Business Emulator is so fantastic about. And one of the reasons why I use the Business Emulator is because when I've got a client and I own city license AIYellow.com for Pretoria, Pietermaritzburg, and Cape Town and George. So I'll be building adverts for Cape Town, but I'm in Pretoria. So for me, Business Emulator would be absolutely brilliant. And it is brilliant because I can go and I can see what the actual UBIZ app looks on someone's computer, on someone's phone, which makes it, you know, so much easier for me to see stuff and makes it so much easier for me to really play around with and to do the corrections. It's just it's just additional tool that I believe we might want to use to make us look a little bit more professional. Okay, the next lot. Okay, UBIZ Emulator. Yep, Kurt, you're absolutely right. You're just so on the ball. Okay, the landing page of UBIZ Emulator, it's where we're going to find a lot of information. But right now, where I'm going to take you to a GDC office because there is a new tool. If you haven't played with GDC UBIZ office, then I would very strongly suggest you're going to go with this. Okay, I'm just going to log into my account. Okay. And the new tool is actually in the ecosystem. You're going to go to UBIZ Mobi. It's right here on the left-hand side of your screen. If you're going to click on UBIZ Mobi, what's happening is that you're going to have to follow through some registration process. So please do this. But then what happens, you can actually follow anyone anywhere in the world. And in my blonde wisdom, I shut down the UBIZ Emulator a little bit too quickly. But as you can see, all the clients that are published, the actual adverts for, I am following it because I want to see what's happening and how they do the offerings, how they're using the UBIZ tool as well. So to me, it's almost keeping in touch. But what you can do, you can actually pick up any company. So if I'm going to search by the company name, okay, categories, I've got no idea, shall we say, in South Africa, in Johannesburg, company, let us go Groove, and Kurt Groove Funnels does not have a UBIZ. Someone was slacking off here. Okay, let us go STEMtech. STEMtech. I can spell to save my life. Okay, there you go. STEMtech distributor in Johannesburg. I click on it and suddenly I'm following up, which means that because this feature in your back office of your GDC membership back office is linked to your telephone account, you should be getting the notifications, and I'm saying you should be. Nothing beats to confirm it, but this is what I believe. This is how the system works. So you can follow any company anywhere in the world through this particular feature. As long as you know the company name or the ID of the advert, you can actually do this. So those are the new things that are happening in UBIZ. A little bit of refreshment course at the same time, how to do the pictures, because I know that this is such a sore topic that we're battling to resize the pictures. So I hope that that made it a little bit easier. Please, when you're going to be building adverts to the clients, please encourage them to use the UBIZ, because UBIZ is an app. Okay, it's not like you can in comparison with AI Yellow advert, just posting it and leaving it out there and hoping for the better and everything would be hunky-dory. Eventually, it will be appearing and indexing on search engines. Midtime UBIZ is an app, but a client really should spread a little bit of a news with their clients. So when they are publishing something, that the clients are getting the notifications. And yeah, I'm just going to show you something else, so just bear with me. Okay, I'm going to be sharing the screen with you as well. Let me just get it ready. Okay. This is something that I've done for a client. Oops, so let me just share the screen because you can't see anything, can you? Okay, share the screen. Okay. On a PowerPoint, what I've done, really almost a layout for the client, and I will send it through to my client in this pack that I do for my clients when I finished, publish the advert and they pay me in full. I put together a pack to the client when I send them all the information, how to use each product. And part of this pack is actually the UBIZ, where I encourage my clients to print it out as big as small as they like, change it if they want. But really what we're saying is, download UBIZ app on your phone from your app store, like us, and this is where the company would actually put the name on UBIZ and be the first to get the news from us. You can reward it, you can make it better, but older clients tend to do it slightly differently. So, but this is what, when I'm encouraging the clients to do this, they can do it either in a form of a business card, put it next to the till, put it on the window, just so people can be aware. What might be a pretty good idea, download UBIZ app on your phone. We might add to it, okay, that UBIZ app is free. Okay, and if you really, that's snazzy, you can say an advert free, because there is no other paid adverts. If you guys are playing on the on any apps, you're going to see that usually there is a little bit of advertising popping up, especially when you download an app and it says that it will have advertising on it, which I personally find very irritating. So this just might be this additional notch for the clients to download it. And what I notice when people are encouraged, and I've done this with years ago with a Solera restaurant in Pretoria, we actually did train the waiters to go out there, and I know Chris is doing the same thing in Bloemfontein right now. But because the Solera restaurant had free Wi-Fi, okay, with the password that was given to the clients, they said, there's the password for the Wi-Fi. Please will you just, while you're playing around on our Wi-Fi, please will you download UBIZ app and like us on UBIZ. So they had a different approach, and they, on their bills, they actually printed the same thing. What we noticed with Solera at the time was that the engagement on UBIZ actually grew. They didn't have a foggiest idea where those extra likes were coming from, but they did. So UBIZ is an effective tool of communication with the clients, providing that people are educated how to use it. So, and I believe this is one of our jobs of how to educate the clients and how to, so they can get the most out of it as well. Okay, so if you guys could, and Miriam, if you've got any questions, press 1 for me. You want to pick up a conversation, switch on the mic. If you've got nothing, 0 will do. Okay, so from me to you, I'm going to stop recording now. Okay, hold on. Is the UBIZ option only available after a yellow adverse is back? Yes, yes. So even if you're going to be selling UBIZ app on its own, you're still going to have to build a basic advert. You're going to have to publish it, and only then you can build UBIZ. Okay. So this is, I'm going to stop recording. So it is 18th of March, 2021, and that was my training session on UBIZ, trying to make your life a little bit easier.